Welcome to Kind of Adulting. My name is Simone, and I'm joined by my two friends, Jordan and Elise. We've known each other since middle school, high school-ish, and we're taking on our early 20s together. In this podcast, we hope to share our daily challenges, funny stories, and overall experiences living in big cities and taking on post-grad life. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Kind of Adulting. Yay!
Hello.
We back again, back in the whatever song is.
Okay.
Listen to episode, what number it was last week? Episode 7. I'm trying to remember.
No, it's episode 8 this time. This one's 8.
I'm talking about
so the last
last
one
week,
was
Jordan.
7.
Okay.
How is everyone?
Good.
I feel like we're a little slow today.
Yeah.
Definitely. I just woke up from a nap, so.
It's a Saturday. Well, like, I'm in Florida right now, family vacation. It's, like, raining, so that's sad. So, like, no beach. So it's like a, just in the house chilling, watching Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah, it's raining here, too. Like, well, it's actually not raining, but it's supposed to rain, so it's, like, overcast all day, so it's, like, really not a vibe.
Simone, how was your facial? Was it scary?
It was good. It was not scary. I did have my first extractions, which was interesting.
I meant about the COVID, not about your face. Like, with the people, they have on gloves or they have on masks.
Oh,
were you in a bubble?
Well, gloves are pretty useless in that sense because you're going to touch a bunch of other things, cross-contamination. We don't have to get started on those type of things. But no, I didn't wear a mask during the facial. She just wore a mask. No, I wasn't scared at all. I guess like as long as she had her mask on, she wasn't really sneezing or nothing. It wasn't too much gonna seep out. So yeah, it was fine. I had extractions, which are interesting because she was like, this is gonna be rough. It's probably gonna hurt our relationship so far. And I was like, I've been picking at my face since I was a kid. I done probably popped some pimples that were deep in the surface. So I don't think this is going to be that bad. It really wasn't. But it's actually very interesting that we allow people to stick a needle inside of our skin to like remove pimples and stuff. Anyway, it was nice. First timer. So really into this self-care life now and investing in these type of procedures. So
yeah, it was your first facial. Yeah, extractions are. I thought my first facial was going to be relaxing, and then I was like, "What are they doing? What's happening?" But yeah,
if you want it to be relaxing, you better not get no extractions.
Yeah,
I've never had a facial. Maybe I need to step it up.
You should go. Well, I got I don't know. I watch all those YouTube videos about extractions, all that nasty stuff.
Yes, I love like Dr. Pimple Popper has been my life for a while. Those things are so much fun to me.
But it's not relaxing. Like I wouldn't say like a facial is like, oh, like if you're really going to do like your skincare, it's like they're gonna be up in there. They can be taking stuff out.
Yeah, unless you go for like a legit facial and it's like they just rub some cream on your face, like when you go to a spa and they don't have that, like they don't have the professional, like I guess, or what is it, expertise to really be doing deep stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably relaxing.
How'd you get there?
I took the train.
Oh Lord. Okay, Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Y'all get on my nerves. Go ahead, Jordan.
What?
She's upset.
Y'all be so
Jordan.
Y'all be so stressed.
We're trying to help. We're trying to give Jordan a space to speak, Simone, like you said last week. So Jordan, can you proceed?
I'm doing good. Just back home with the family. Spending some time. It's been cool.
Yeah, because we changed locations.
We changed locations.
Yeah, Jordan and I did.
The safe way. The safe way.
Oh, whatever. Well, are you guys enjoying it or?
Well, I wasn't really home. Like it was like overnight, and then I was here, so it wasn't.
Yeah, but now you're with your parents in Florida.
Yeah, free food. I'm so tired of cooking. So good.
I'm kind of ready to go back. So.
But I do feel like DC. I do feel like I've been looking at new clothes that I want to show my fits off. They don't appreciate my fits here. The new fits I bought. Jordan,
where are you gonna wear your fits? You don't go anywhere.
She took a picture on Instagram. You saw a little bathing suit picture.
I know, it's cute.
I said
Simone's a hater.
she's leaving the beach and she's going to go back to DC and buy all these fits. She doesn't go anywhere. Neither one of y'all go anywhere. So where are you gonna wear the outfits?
My fall activities that I had planned. I told Jordan in the car on our 9-hour drive.
You're not about to go nowhere.
No, listen. I told Jordan, I said, hey Jordan, even though she was like right next to me, I said, what's gonna happen is I'm sending Google Calendar invites to all my DC friends, all 5 of them. And I'm going to so people can pick what activities they want to go to with me so that I'm not alone during those activities. I don't really care who comes to each activity. It's just that I want someone to come with me to one of them. And so they won't get annoyed like, oh, she's go pumpkin picking again. Like, it's going to be like a color coordinated schedule for all my fall activities. We're going to, I think, do one weekday, one weekend. So people's different schedules. So, yeah. So Jordan can pick which one she wants to come to. If not, I know where she lives. And I know what her apartment number is.
Okay.
So it's not like I can know all my friends' apartment numbers.
All right. Well,
it's actually not that bad. I'll always come find people. I like to go wine tasting. We need to find a DD.
It's going to be interesting because it's going to be cold outside. So then you're going to have to go into a building to do your wine tasting, right? Are you going to be okay with that process?
No. Listen. Fall starts in my mind September 10th. So what you mean? Like, this is happening next month. Fall is 3 months long.
Literally in 13 days.
I still want to be a loofah for Halloween, so I may have to be a loofah by myself since I can't go out in the public world. So I really want to be a loofah. Maybe because y'all keep on making fun of me about wanting to
be whatever you want to be in the confines of your own house. You just don't take a picture and call it a day.
Okay.
So today I did want to add a out-of-pocket tweet to our discussion because I really felt like it played into our topic of hustle culture and how annoying y'all be on social media, and wrong actually as well. Because I saw something that said y'all will spend $3,000 on a vacation, but that business course for $199 is a risk. This consulting fee for $250 ain't worth it. I see why y'all's families was on welfare.
Oh.
Now, first of all, what in the hell? I don't understand. Like, do these people who promote this lifestyle of entrepreneurship and not working for the man, blah, 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 do they not understand that, for one, people who are literally poor, who live on welfare, can't afford a vacation anyway? Like, y'all be so up in our pockets trying to tell us how to spend our money because we not doing what you doing. For what? If we don't want to do that? Like, and it don't just erase poverty from someone's pockets just to buy an LLC or to invest in a business course. Yeah. Y'all get on my damn nerves. That's all, really. And we'll go more into it in our real discussion. But this tweet was just so wrong. Like, what do they have to, how do they correlate? I don't understand. Like, does that make sense to y'all, or am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. It definitely doesn't.
Honestly, when I saw the tweet, I still didn't really understand it, but I was like, I know this is wrong. But I was like, it just seems like a big welfare vacation. Like, it didn't really correlate, but I was like,
like, people on welfare don't go on vacation. Yeah. Like, that's the point.
Or spending $3 on a vacation at least. Like, you can go somewhere and stay with your family for free.
Right. But instead, y'all stay in our pockets because we not in Forex or buying LLCs. Okay. So we'll get to that in a second. Y'all stay tuned for our hustle life. What is it? Hustle culture discussion. So as you guys know, we like to talk about all things being young and some of the pressures associated. And I think a lot of us can relate to this whole culture of hustle, like just people around you having apps and businesses and all types of things going on. And maybe you just have one job or one passion project and you're not quite ready to start all of those different endeavors. We are here for you. We agree that there seems to be a lot of pressure that we need to be doing more at all times. Like, why aren't we investing in this? Why don't we own these properties yet? And we're young, we're kind of appealing more towards the younger 20s. So just out of college, like still trying to figure things out. And with a lot of recent discussion, some celebrities have gone viral for saying some foolishness. B. Simone. And speaking out about, how having a 9 to 5, you don't understand the grind and the hustle, and you just aren't going to be on that level because you're not up at 3 a.m. Plagiarizing other people's books, So we just really wanted to have this talk about, what hustle culture or mentality really entails. And, what are the pressures associated? Are you doing enough? Like, is it okay to just be working in your job and excelling and doing well? Um, I think we can all just feel the pressure. And so we're here to address some of these things today. So I guess first, like, how do you guys define hustle culture?
I think hustle culture is like people who are on Instagram who are like all their captions like, you could be like me, but you don't want to get the bag, or you not working hard enough to get the bag. And they be like Gucci down, and and they Off-White before Off-White got canceled. And like, it's just like, and I feel like it's always like in the thing like, oh, like, get the bag, get the bag. I think like how you supposed to the club and like all the party promoters would be like, get the bag, like maybe something like that.
Yeah, and then for the people who've been on Twitter for a while, those people that's like rise and grind, who wake up at 5 a.m. just to post that tweet and then go right back to sleep because they're just like, if you sleep, then you're not making money right now. All this other stuff, like, for people to really talk down on 9 to 5s, like, they really do have a set schedule too, because they just in the middle of the night acting like they really doing something. Like, I know your productivity levels are probably not that far up, doing all this stuff in the middle of the night. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I was always like, oh, I got my own. Like, I'm trying to think of all the IG hustler, like, like IG captions. It's like, I got my own, like, get your own, or like, I got me and mine. And then like, you and your fish, like, who else do you really got? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think like the frustrating part is like, for one, having your own entrepreneurship it's simply not for everyone. Like, I think that's the biggest thing here. And so when I think of hustle culture, like, I kind of defer from the original kind of thinking about it. Like, when we were growing up and we'd have aunts and uncles who maybe had these hustles going on, like, they were selling everything. They had all these different incomes from different businesses or whatever. Like, I don't even think of that as being hustle culture. I think it's like this new thing that's just kind of come to the forefront of, kind of comparison. And I don't know, like, I just feel like if you were really doing a lot, like, you wouldn't have to tell me all the time how much you're doing, Yeah. And like, that's what hustle culture is about. It's really about being loud and being in other people's faces and like sharing wisdom that you don't even have, like all these freaking grind brunches and stuff, okay, with multiple women who are teaching you everything they know about like the business they've created. And a lot of them are really scams. And like, that's not a hustle to me. That's not having a hustle. Like, it's really all very kind of fake to me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is scammerish. It really is.
When I think about, like, I didn't really know what hustle culture. I feel like hustle culture is really like been amplified from like Instagram, right? Because like, you go on Instagram, and you see all these people, even me, everyone, especially growing up in Atlanta, I feel like has a hustle.
Oh my goodness,
when I moved to DC, like, I was like, oh, I gotta get my hustle. Saying like, think about people we grew up with, like, especially Jordan and I, like, everyone I know. So I can at least count 20 people on top of my head I knew growing up now that does hair and nails, right? Or lashes. And so I came to DC and was like, I want to do I don't know, something, right? Because I was like, I don't have that, like, that hustle. And then people would always show on Instagram, like, I'm getting money because I'm doing lace fronts. And I'm like, well, I can mess your lace up, like, or we'll do nails. Like, I get my nails currently still, it wasn't pandemic. I get my nails done in this girl's house in Marietta in her basement. She's not licensed probably, but she has really cool nails. But still hustle culture. Like, she hustling out of her mother, and still like the ventilation's not good in the house, because they be smoking. like cigarettes. And so like she went.
Wait, who are you talking about yourself?
No, I'm talking about like, yeah, I go to this girl's nails like in Cobb County.
You actively have gone to this woman's
Yeah,
house?
remember like last summer I had all these really cool nail designs. There was like fruit for each nail and like.
But not recently, at least.
Not recently because of the pandemic, because she just had a baby.
Okay, that's what I was
but
asking.
she's still doing nails in her parents' in her mom's basement. She has all these rules, stipulations too, like don't come through the back. I'm like, girl, this is not licensed. I could just call the people down the street, and you would not be able to. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that like Instagram really makes it seem that you have to be hustling. I feel like in Atlanta, and like people are always selling random like. I feel like in Atlanta, if you're not like a hairstylist or nails, like really like it's really hard to envision yourself making money in your early 20s, like or getting the bag, as they say. Because honestly, if you're not doing nails, hair, lashes, or Forex, what else are you seeing on Instagram that people are?
Oh, like a boutique.
Yeah, people are 20 are hustling. That's unfortunate because I thought too, like I can't do hair, makeup, or nails. I don't want to be in Forex scam. I'm not going to sell Fashion Nova Part 2 clothes. So. What's my hustle?
Yeah, and I think like to preface this, like we don't have a problem with entrepreneurship or like people having businesses and stuff, but like
it's the pressure.
I don't know, to me,
if I'm not hustling, I'm not enough.
Yeah, it's the pressure, but then also to me, what I respect is having a successful business, and to me, successful means you're going to have longevity, like. Not just some quick thing and you've seen some money or some progress and it's suddenly like, what are y'all doing? You're not doing enough. Like you said, Forex, there are some people in Forex that are making really good money, right? But the people that I see aggressively harassing me on a daily basis, like people who make literal skits of them sleeping and then waking up, what are you doing? Like, it's too much. Like, and I know for a fact they are not the ones making thousands of dollars a month. And like, being in finance, I know that the Forex market, well, really the foreign exchange market is a legitimate market that people have great success in.
Yeah.
Success in. But like, what do they call this? The Trade House Academy or something? That's some foolishness. And I'm sick of y'all acting like y'all doing, like, y'all, this man made a skit where he explained how they trade, right? And
he sent it to me because I don't understand it still.
It's gone, sis. Well, maybe I'll find it. Maybe he had an IGTV.
Okay.
But they were basically saying, like, this is how it works. And, to join these groups, you have to pay $200-something. Mm-hmm. So he said how it works is that he goes to England. Mm. So say that the U.S. has, like, a 1-to-1 conversion ratio with England. Okay, so first of all,
Simone, what are we about to do with this? Because I just need to know how much math is involved.
I'm explaining. Okay. It's not much math. My point to y'all is that it's not logical.
Okay.
So he said that it was a 1-to-1 conversion ratio. That already is wrong.
Yeah, it's not a 1-to-1.
You can't go to England with $200 and get $200 back. But that's what his example showed. So you go to England with your $200, you get $200 back. Then you come back to the U.S. and now it's a 2-to-1 ratio. And so basically, like, you're getting more because, is that right?
It sounds like a scam, Simone.
Okay, the point of the matter, hold on. The point of the matter is, England does not have a 1-to-1 conversion ratio with the U.S.
It does not.
And that already was very alarming with me because I'm like, what knowledge are you sharing with me when I supply you my $275? Okay, I can go teach myself this. It is a scam. It is a pyramid scheme because I shouldn't have to pay you that much money just to join the group. Okay, I'm sick of y'all. You do too much and you're not making more than me. This is what I do know. So stop getting on Instagram trying to tell me I'm not doing enough because I didn't wake up and copy and paste some information into my trading platform. Okay, so around the point, this is the point here. Okay, it's enough.
I'm listening. What is it? Because the numbers turn me, they mess me up.
First of all, I just said the point.
Okay. That was the point. Okay, but I do have a good point though about like Instagram, like IG-ness. Like, how do y'all feel like IG has like made hustle culture worse? Like. People are really aggressive, one, but I think there's other examples too of people really, really getting on my nerves social media about how they be hustling.
Okay, the number one scam on Instagram is how people be going to these surgeons and be photoshopping their bodies and then try to sell you flat tummy tea. And I'm just I know you did not sip one drink every morning and get this body. Let's just cut it out.
Flat tummy tea and fit tea.
Y'all need to show your surgeons instead of the tea.
Because that's where the real information is. Let me see the surgeon.
Stop posting your body saying you was working hard, and you need to post a picture of Dr. Nassif or Dr. Miami.
You know that
what is you doing? That's who gave you that body. I do.
People should just throw up. Like I feel
educated.
I feel like does a tea make you like throw up or something? Like how are you losing that much weight?
No, it makes you poop. You could really just go buy some prune pills and call it a day. It's flushing your body.
But they really be hustling and trying to tell me to buy some fit tea. Like I even had like when my friend from South Africa was like, "Can you buy me this tea in the US and send it to me?" And I was like, "Girl, no. I know this tea is a scam. Like this is $30. Just go and like get you some stuff out the ground or something, like, or I don't know.
Go get some prune pills.
I just know that cannot be true, and they be like trying to sell them. When I knew it was a scam, I saw the 50 people selling the Fashion Nova knockoff clothes, and I was like, the same people doing the same thing. It's not sitting right with my soul, right? Not sitting right with my soul. And I'll be trying to sell some stuff, and then it'll be like, oh, you know, those rainbow 2-piece short sets. That's when you know someone's a scam is like not a good quality. If they have those rainbow 2-piece Fashion Nova, the hoodie and the shorts, that's when you know. And they also on fit tea. Don't take medical advice from them. Don't do it.
It's not even that. For me, it's the influencer brunches, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Where they have all the advertisements and they're like, you know, we're going to share how we got to this platform. When they really be on social media exposing these people. Like I remember one, I'm not saying names, but there was one who like their boyfriend had like supplied their whole business. And they're both basically trying to explain like how to be a self-made brand. How is that self-made? Like that's the misleading part. It would be so different if people were honest about the hard work that it took to build this brand, you know, because entrepreneurship is not easy. And that's why we say it's not for everyone. It is a lot of inconsistency. You have off months, you have, you know, really profitable months, and like people don't share that side. It's just like I made 20,000 this month, so now I'm really boasting. Like, what are you doing? But it's like they're not really showing the hard work, and I think that's what bothers me. It's like it's really not an easy process. Entrepreneurship is not easy. Truly being a hustler is not easy, but they only want to show the good side and then try to look down on people. And then also like they're young, they're in their early 20s. You really don't have that much responsibility. So like I don't know, it's okay. It should be okay for me to want to go and get a good job that has the propensity to pay me very well, you know, in the long term. Like, and that's the other side is like, people don't realize you can get a great job working for quote unquote the man and still make high 6 figures, or, you know, really getting $1 million payouts. Like, people do reach those type of levels and they have a lot more flexibility with, yes, they could stay until 3 a.m. be Simone and help you copy and paste your wording into your book. So it's just frustrating because like people just have such a lack of knowledge about the different paths, and then they want to look down on other people, you know?
Yeah. And I would say, like, I think, you know, talking about, like, you know, like, you could get a good job and work, too. I feel like you can also be, like, hustling in your job. Like, if you come out in your 20s, like, I'm a little concerned if you were just, like, for me, like, I would love to know what, I want to run a business later on, but, like, I don't know what that is. And so, like, yeah, in my 20s, like, I'm not going to wait around and be like, okay, like, here's my dream business. I'm going to work. I'm going to like have jobs. I'm going to learn. So like, and also when you're going to your like 9 to 5 or your 40-hour job, you could be doing other stuff at the same time. You could be studying for something. You could be supporting other people. Like, it doesn't have to always be like a LLC or like have your own, like, you could be handling stuff that's not always.
You have insurance.
Yeah. Like, you know, and like, or just even just like your mental, like, you can be dealing with a lot at the same time. It doesn't have to always, you know, be an LLC. Because the thing about having an LLC and having your own income, you can't have a sick day. You can't have a mental day. Like, that's what happens.
Or you're not getting paid.
Right.
And also, your insurance is just not as set, or you don't get some of the same benefits of being in a group insurance, you know, like with a company. But you're so right. And that's the fluctuations that people don't discuss. But like, what's wrong with working a 9 to 5 and saving the money to invest in your business?
But I do want to.
What's wrong with that?
Later on, it's going to be called. I have the name picked out. I shouldn't say it now. And I'm gonna be on Instagram with my Gucci bags in different countries.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and then I think,
Okay.
sorry, the last thing was just like people have to recognize like 9 to 5 does not mean that you're working retail. Like I feel like that's like people's small-minded view of that. Like lawyers
Retail?
also work. No, I say that to say like lawyers also work 9 to 5. Doctors work 9 to 5. Bankers work 9 to 5. They work much longer hours than just 8 hours a day, but like those are considered 9 to 5s. Like it is not limited to retail or a market like that where you're not getting paid any money. So that's all I'm saying. Like there's no cap to 9 to 5s really. Yes, you can make more sometimes in owning your own business or something like that, but there is so much opportunity in that space. Like you cannot confine it.
And then
So
my mother, ever since I've been here, well, even before, like she's always been talking about like I'm gonna create my own business. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna create my own business. Like this is our time. Da 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 da. So my mom filed for an LLC. I don't even know the words. LLC. Now she has one. Her and my dad have one. And now they have all these different business plans, and they're like, "Yeah, and then what's your business gonna be, Jordan?" I'm just like, "Huh?"
That's me.
So now I'm thinking about doing like a vending machine. I want like a vending
Oh, we
machine.
talked
But
about
then I'm
that.
yes, that's a
also
good investment.
Simone, pause. Jordan talked to me about this in the car. I said,
and then
Jordan,
I'm learning about
It's a good
stocks now since I
investment.
have to be a capitalist in order to pay like bills and stuff. So I'm just really gonna be in the thick of it. Like I'm really gonna be out here just being a capitalist, doing stocks and day trading and
So weird.
refilling up my vending machine just to feel like
But Jordan,
I can
where's the
pay the
vending
bills.
machine going? We talked about this before.
It's going in my
What you
apartment building. Oh, I can't say that because what if somebody tries to steal it?
That's what I was about to say. Basically, what you do is call up places that you see don't have a vending machine, and then you ask them if they want one, and then you can supply the vending machine for that building.
Because if
It's
it's in
actually
my
really a lot
apartment, I
simpler
can
than
just
people think.
Don't you have to
walk.
like pay people like vending machine rent, right? Something like that. I'm sure you.
Yeah,
No,
but
you
do you
don't
know how
have
much
to.
money?
You can do a non-verbal or like a verbal contract with people. And
Oh
if they want it
Lord.
out, they want it out. But if they want it, they like it. If they think it's, positive in their building, you can just keep it.
This is what you should do,
Yeah,
Jordan.
but even with that, do you know how much money circulate through vending machines? Like
I've done my research.
those weird. There's no. I'm saying that to Elise. Like it's lucrative. Like people buy parking lots, and these things sound really crazy, but it's like, do you know how much money you can make if you charging people $20 over the weekend as big events and thousands of people come through? Like man, there's markets there.
Jordan, what you should do, let me tell you, we got in the car. We got in the car to go drive back to Atlanta. Jordan put some oil on my wrist, some protective oil to protect us.
That sounds so right.
Right. So
Okay.
what Jordan should do. This is what you should.
Sure, she didn't wipe it on your forehead like
This is
Simba.
what.
No, I told her to do it on her chest because she gets anxious. It's called fiery waller protection. So
What
we didn't get no
does it do when you put it
accidents.
on somebody's chest?
Because she gets anxious, so it calms you. You feel protected.
Okay.
Black women need protection, okay?
Elise, would you have let her put it on your chest?
I got in the car and she said, "Don't say anything." And then she pulled out the oil, and I was just so over it. I was so tired. I was like, I didn't want to argue with it. And she said, "Rub it together." And she said, "It's gonna protect us." And I was like, "Okay," but it's what you should do, Jordan. You should put oils in your vending machine, right? Put olive oils and just put food coloring in each different one of them, so people think it's a different flavor, and then write on them what it's gonna prescribe you. And then you can go get your little oils that you put on me, the olive oil. I'm sure that it was. And then that is what you can do.
In it too.
That's a no-go.
But okay,
not
I
a good
can
idea.
put the money oil on the machine to make sure it's profitable.
So be greasy? Okay.
On top of the machine. Not like where the buttons
This
are.
is a terrible idea.
Okay. Well, moving on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving me real black matchmaking vibes right now.
Thank you for bringing that up again, Simone. I need to start that paperwork soon.
Oh my goodness.
What am I going to call it? What was it called again? Ebony Connections. Thank you.
Please don't call it that.
Yeah,
actually you should. As much as you talk about it.
I really should. And pandemic too? Okay. But what I was going to talk, next question was, what do you guys think about all the pressures put on young people to partake in this hustle life, and how do you handle some of it? So I'll start with my personal story. So I moved to DC August of last year, working a 9 to 5, well, working, like my regular 40-hour week job, but my first project was completely virtual. So I didn't have to go into the office. I didn't see anyone. I had my own time. And so I was like really bored a lot. Like I was alone. Like I didn't have any coworkers. Like no one to really chit chat with other than my apartment. all my friends had jobs, you know, I was just bored all the time. So I was like, you know what? To free up this empty time that I have after, you know, 5 o'clock, I'm gonna get another job. So I went.
What?
So I went to the Pottery Barn. Yeah, I'm never told y'all that. I went to the Pottery Barn.
You didn't.
No, you've never told me that. You probably knew
Because
better.
y'all don't support my dreams. And so I was gonna go to Pottery Barn. I said, you know what? I like Pottery Barn. I like how those little women be making those little cute fall decorations, i.e. fall. I said, I'm gonna help out so I can decorate people's homes, like decorate their Christmas trees and their how like and like the store, like I'm gonna be like the decorator, like the stager, right? So I swear, y'all, I went to the Party Barn. I found this lady. I talked to her. I walked in one day after work, and I was like, "Hey, I want to interview for this job. I saw it on the internet. I want to do it." And she was like, "Oh, do you have any decorating experience?" I said, "No, but I'm good." She said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Yeah, but I can only work these times, like you know, after work and then on Saturdays." And she was like, "Let's have an interview." I was like, "Cool, cool, cool." The interviews would be like that Monday. That I think like a Thursday, and I was supposed to come back that Monday. So at least on Monday, at least fashion, forgot I had an interview. But I was like, okay. So, but I knew I had an interview that day, but I didn't know the time. I forgot the time. So I called them at, 9 a.m. And I'm like, hey, peeps, this is Elise trying to have an interview with this lady. She's going to be, one of these interior decorators for the holiday season. And I said, no, I still know the time. I know what time to come. And they were like, we see no record of that conversation on our books. I was like, no. I have an interview. I'm supposed to make $10 an hour, so I need to come back here so I can get my income. So I could be like those hustlers on IG. I can get my YSL bag and stunt at brunch with my mimosa. So I need y'all to let me interview. And they were like, yeah, they were like, we don't recall. No one works here by that name. I give the manager's name, like we don't know that person. I was like,
what?
And so I was like, that comes from Pottery Barn. I was like, you know what? This is God telling me to focus on my primary job. I wasn't even a month into my first job. I was probably like 3 weeks in trying to find another job. And I was like, maybe I should focus on my primary source of income first before I try to get another job. And then, you guys know this, I tried to be a bottle girl.
Yeah, I remember
and that. One man, I applied for one, and he was sketchy. And he told me to ask for my height, which why? Why is there a minimum for bottle girls?
Yeah, so that the people can see you over the couch.
Okay. Well, I've been practicing my bottle girl skills, the up down motion. Jordan knows I showed it to him multiple times. The up down, I'll practice with wine bottles. I was like, I can so do this. Like, I'll get me some Nike trainers, be in the club. I got this, right? Like, I'm small. I can weave in and out of people. I'm good. I'm great. I'll take a nap. I'll be good. Sent that in. The guy, I sent him the wrong Instagram profile name by accident. I'm not on IG like that. And then he was like, position has been filled because I waited too long to give him the right IG name. So misogyny, I feel like, because
oh my goodness, literally, that's
really
the name of the game.
Because I feel like if I'm qualified as the up down motion, what else do you need from me? Smo, you be misogynistic too and say something?
I guess so. I was just about to say, it sounds like you don't really know how to follow through with these jobs you actively going out and seeking. Because how you forgot you had an interview?
How they lie to me to no one worked there by their name.
And then I don't know, misogyny and all. I don't know why you thought they weren't going to ask for your Instagram account.
I did.
For
I just spelled my name wrong in the IG caption, but in the IG field.
How do you do that?
Jordan, do you have something to say?
No, I don't actually. So.
Right, because it don't make no sense.
I just, this is where I'm just letting you do your dreams. I don't know about supporting. I don't know if I'm very good on that front, but I'm definitely here to listen to it.
I'm saying, but the IG culture made me feel like I had to get extra jobs so I could have it, so I could go on these trips, so I could go have these designer clothes. Because
yes, we get the drive.
Okay,
the follow
because I feel like on Instagram, people will be designered out, right? And I'm like, I work hard, and I'm still not about to. I just can't go drop a Gucci bag on a Gucci bag overnight, or go buy. I have to save for that stuff, and y'all making it look real casual, like H&M.
That is fair. I feel the same way.
Sometimes I'm sorry, be stretching my pockets, so I got to be real. I can't.
And the thing is, we make good money too. That's what's so interesting. I'm like, that is the part where I'm like, okay, dang, maybe I do need to get something going. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm gonna make good money soon. So like, and it's not like I can't buy those things. I just have to save for those things versus just going out and buying. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. It would be nice. I guess I just feel like do it when you're ready. Don't do it because other people are doing it.
Yeah.
But
And
also,
like to answer your, sorry.
you also have to realize that like a lot of people's parents be helping them out. Let's be real. Let's be real. Their parents be buying them this stuff.
That is true, because we know a lot of people with some money like that.
27, 26, like people be buying, like people's parents definitely just be giving them money still. Like,
and we do know people whose parents actively buy these type of bags.
And so it's just like at one point, because okay, I first realized this, and when my freshman year of Howard, because everybody had parents that were like doctors, and their grandparents, great grandparents went to Howard. First of all, I'm not the first person to go to college in my like first generation college student, but I'm definitely second. So it's just like that money, like level of money, just didn't make no sense to me. I didn't know Black people had that for real. So I'm just like, whoa, we are on two different level fields right here. And then like whenever we would go out and stuff, like people would definitely just be like, oh, my Cash App's broken, or the people who have the money, and they'll be like, I'll pay you back, and then they never pay you back, and be like, oh, hey girl, all up in your face, you want to go out next week? No, I don't want to go out with you because you're not paying people back. Like, you have money because you're kind of shiesty with it. Like, whatever.
Well, how do you feel about that? I feel like that too. People who have like, you know, who have these really nice bags or have that on Instagram will be like, oh, hustle, and then you may know on the side, like, you're not really like, they portray like they know they're out getting it, but they're just like, those bags are either bought for them or what have you. Like, how do you guys feel about that when people portray that like false sense of hustle, but you know, glorify like these things that cost so much money so much?
No, that's what I was gonna answer your original question, but I think it still ties us to like, that's why it's really, you really have to stay in your own zone.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, you know, being here in New York and having people around me all the time who work, like we all work for these good companies, and then they have apps on the side or something, or they have a really successful business, like venture capital funds and stuff, like people my age are running. It's very crazy to look at, but at the same time, like, that's why I really try to separate myself from that and not compare, because you really don't know what went into that process.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the same as when you see these people with these nice bags, like coming here and hanging out. Like I was hanging out with a lot of people who did have money, and like, I don't know, don't take it as like, I guess we all grew up struggling, because we didn't. We frankly did not. But you know, and even coming from a city like Atlanta, where a lot of people do have money like that, it's like, I don't know, it's just so different still. When I came here, in terms of seeing what people had, and easily, like what was easily accessible to them. But I still think that plays the same way. Like, don't compare, because like you don't even know if they're buying that, or if their parents bought it, or maybe their mom just gave them one out their closet because they just had so many. Like, you know, it would be nice to think that they were able to do those things at our age, but that's why you just can't compare, because it's like, we just don't know how they got that bag. Like, people got sugar daddies, sugar mamas, all types of stuff, you know, like people who are really funding their lives. Like, you'll hear later on and you'll be like, wow. So that's why I really tried to just stay focused on myself and what I'm doing. And if I do decide to open up my own business or whatever, it's going to be because I'm ready, and because like I really am ready to invest in that, not because I feel like I just have to have one.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it really should be self-driven, not in terms of you seeing other people doing it and you feel like you have to too.
Yeah. And it's hard though. I mean, like, even sometimes now, like I look at people and I feel like I need to get certain things or like buy certain things or have certain experiences because we're the same age and they're doing it. So like, why can't I? Even though I feel it's decreased, because honestly, I'll be tired, right? And also I have been realizing that times that people aren't buying that stuff themselves. So been learning that, because I'm telling you, I would see 23-year-olds like new bag every other day. And I'm like, where are you working at? Like, how do you have this?
They
money?
get Gucci bags for Christmas,
right?
Bruh.
And I'm like,
that's a cute bag. Thanks, my parents bought it for me. Like, oh.
Yeah, like but
wow.
I felt like I needed to get
simple
that.
Like
and
that.
I think it's easy to say focus on yourself, but like it is hard. It is hard sometimes being in these big cities, and people we put nice things on the internet. We put our new bags or new stuff on the internet for people to see. This kind of like how it goes. So
it's definitely hard, and you're gonna do it. So don't get me wrong. You're gonna have those feelings, but that's always kind of what I use to center myself back. And I have moments, I'll have breakdowns. I call my mom and she's like, "No, shut up. Like, you have a bomb job. You're doing well. Like, yes, you do. Comparison, people say comparison is the biggest thief. What, right? Or something
Thief
like
of
that.
happiness or
But
something
like,
like that.
thief of happiness, yeah. So you're gonna have your moments, and that's so fair. But like, you really have to center yourself back to like, okay, what am I doing now? Let's focus back on that,
Yeah.
And I also have seen it like my old roommate had a really, really successful. She has a really, really successful podcast and has won a lot of awards and stuff. And like, it's super dope. And sometimes when I would see her staying up late, I'd be like, wait, why don't I have anything that I'm doing that's like, keeping me up and waking me up early to, excuse me, focus on my side thing, whatever that be. And then I really had to think about it, and I was like, well, if it wasn't something I really wanted to do, would I be staying up to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning?
No.
No. She's passionate about it,
Right.
So for me, I want it to be more of like a passion, something that I really, really want to do, because that's really, at the end of the day, what's going to give me the motivation to keep it going.
No, definitely. That's just the hardest thing. You want to hustle because you love it, not because you feel like something you have to do. If you're really going to truly hustle for that, what you want.
But I think with like COVID, it definitely changed like my perspectives, because like a job can come and go like really easily. So it's just like, I kind of feel like I need to have other things in place in case of like emergencies and stuff. Like, well, okay, I've always been like a good like saver. Like, I have enough money saved for me to be unemployed since March. I have enough money saved to like pay the rent for the rest of the year. Like, off bucks, like I was just like, before anything, I have to make sure that I can pay my rent. Like, I need somewhere to live and everything. But like, even still, like, I'm still doing the bare minimum just in order to have like savings and stuff like that. I feel like everybody, like, it's something I can do to be more comfortable in any situation. I just don't know what. And everybody else is just like, oh yeah, well, COVID changed my life in like a positive way because I'm doing this. My business is booming because I'm like, oh, okay, well, why did I know this before the pandemic? But like, and nobody knew about the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point, though, the saving thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't save, and that's another reason why you can't compare, because when I think back, I'm like, well, I probably could have gone out and bought all of these things, but would I have been able to save the way that I do, And like, a lot of people don't have saving as a priority. Like, they literally don't budget for any type of saving. Like, Elise and I have a friend who literally told us that they spend their money during the month and then save what's left. Yeah, you're never going to have money left over living that way, And like, for us three, I know we are avid savers and could survive probably if we were unemployed for like a year or so. But at the same time, because we have put that money away, we can't just go buy whatever that's out there, on a splurge purchase. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is a trade-off for sure. But that's why you just can't compare, because these people could have millions or thousands of designer handbags and have $0 in their savings account, and I'd rather have the latter.
What I did learn from COVID, though, like how has it impacted hustle culture, just from my perspective, is this like party promoting, right? Like, I used to go out, and so like I just started to know party promoters, and it's interesting because right when COVID hit, so all the DC clubs are still closed to my knowledge, right, Jordan? Like the big ones. And so people aren't able to like go out to the club. So like party promoters, people who will be up on my Instagram, like got the bag, on a Thursday night in the club, whatever, are no longer able to make that money, bringing in appearances, bringing in people. And so it's just seeing how fleeting those like instant gratification things can be. Because I would be like, oh, look, then they have like all this money, at the club, like got they like, little bankroll with them. And you saw how fleeting that can come when COVID came and you weren't able to go to parties. You weren't able to flaunt, like, flaunt, like, the big stuff or talk about who you're bringing to the club, like what celebrity, because you don't have that no more. And like literally overnight, all the party promoters became Forex traders. I swear to you, they were like Forex traders overnight. And at first it was kind of like, oh, wow, see, like, that's why y'all shouldn't be just club party promoting, is fleeting. And now it's kind of like sad because Instagram will make you believe these people are really set up and really good. Like there's this private promoter in DC who I thought was crazy. Like he's like 20. And of course, he would always be on Instagram like, I have all these cars, I have all this money, like I'm, biggest private promoter in the city. And I was like, yo, he's so young, like doing him, like look at him, like hustling. And then you see what happens overnight. Like COVID happens, and it's fun. It was funny at first, but now we hold on to Instagram and like other like social media and like public displays of like money or wealth as like indication people are good when life
because
happen.
you're talking about the promotional side, right? But like if Q4 is as bad as we are predicting it to be, and going into Q1 of next year, like that is not no finance terms. Like the consumer spending is going to go down, right? Like I think in general, it's already going down, which is why a lot of people have had to try and change their marketing, right? Like we're selling loungewear now, right? Because if people are not going anywhere anymore, they're not going to buy clothes. They are not going to, there are some people who we saw risking their lives to get their nails done in the middle of the heat of the pandemic. But most people are going to sacrifice those things now, right? Which are why a lot of small businesses are closing, which I am not in any way saying is a good thing, but it's like, that's the part of entrepreneurship that I'm talking about. There are fluctuations. And if you have a very consumer driven business like that, when something happens in the economy, you then also take a hit. And not to say you're necessarily safe just because you have, some corporate job or something. Because you're definitely not. Now, there are, companies that are a little less cyclical in nature. So like, you're probably not going to worry as much, about your employer, your job, right? And losing it in a crash or something. But at the same time, like, and really no one's safe. So it's like, if somebody wants to work that 9 to 5 or someone wants to have that business, it's really all good. It really shouldn't be any comparison, because like you're saying, a lot of these people who we saw who were very at the mouth talking a lot of smack about us, like, are struggling now, which I don't wish on anyone. But it's really about what you choose to do as your job and your career. So it is what it is.
COVID has messed up so many jobs. So like even Coca-Cola now say they're doing like massive layoffs, like this week. So it just shows like you could be in the industry, stuff you didn't think it was like solidified and stuff can happen. So like really be grateful.
Agreed.
For what you have in the moment. And like kind of made me think, what, I'm grateful. Like I'm grateful I'm able to pay my rent. Like I'm grateful I'm able to like do these things, because it's fleeting. We still don't know what's going to happen. So
wish our government could whip out another $1 trillion fake dollars so that we could survive a little longer. But
me and Jordan never got a stimulus check, so we out here.
Oh, I did. What? And that stuff went straight in my bank account.
I didn't get no stimulus check.
Because we were dependents.
Some of y'all was dependents, but some of y'all did y'all's taxes late. And so some of y'all need to get better on timelines, because I filed my taxes the day that my form got released. So my stuff was in the system, but some people's stuff was not in the system, and they say it was because they were dependents. But we can move on.
Okay. So I got my tax return like the day before my birthday, so you already know what that went towards. And then like COVID happened 4 weeks later, and I'm like, oh, great! I should have maybe kept some of that money.
See, I actually kept all of Trump's check. Like I haven't spent it, but it's actually coming to help me now while I try to do some other things. But yeah, that was a good discussion, guys. I guess to summarize, we can stay up to 3 a.m. and have 9 to 5s, and we can stay up to 3 a.m. having, our own business. It is really up to you. Just decide on what's going to make you happy and make you most secure. But when you have this business, and I can't emphasize this enough, don't plagiarize. Okay. So on to the next segment, we'll be doing our listener letters.
As we are approaching month infinity of staying in the house, we've really been enjoying using the Anchor app to record our podcasts. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me tell you why. Number one, it's free. We don't got money for that. We are all recent grads out here. Times are rough. Also, there's free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you. So it can be heard on Apple, Spotify, many more platforms as well. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Get you some coins for Uber Eats. That's what I usually use my money to, but it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. To get started, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get your podcast on and poppin'.
So it's kind of a listener letter, more of a request for us, as dating experts. But it's from BB, and she says, can you guys talk about flirting? How do you guys shoot your shot in persons, DM, etc., or get a guy to buy you a drink? I'm an awkward Black girl and could really use some help. You sure Elise didn't write this one? Okay.
Funny.
Anyway. How do you guys flirt?
Oh, I just give them the eyes. Like at a bar. Well, see, I don't know how to flirt because I ran Shan Booteram's book, and that didn't really help me. So what I do, because I'm awkward, like the girl, I actually didn't write this letter. We don't write any of our letters, but we did.
I was just throwing shade. So.
But to get someone to buy me a drink at the bar, I'm just bold. I usually take a shot, and I'm like, are you going to buy me a drink? And they usually buy me a drink because I think they're just so scared by this 5-foot girl asking them directly. Or I kind of make it like, oh, like, you're not going to get me and my girls any drinks. Kind of like, oh, you're not man enough, which seems toxic now in retrospect. But at the night, oh, yes, you're not man enough, but I guess something. That's kind of what I do. But yeah, or I get like if it's crossed the body in the eyes, but it never works. They just think I might probably have an issue or something.
Probably so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine.
But like, I literally don't know how to flirt, and especially like with somebody that I feel like I'm attracted to. Oh yeah, I don't know what words are.
Yeah, I can flirt with guys. I can flirt with guys I don't want. But if you're fine, I really like. I don't even know what to say. I just be looking at you crazy.
Simone, how do you do it though? Give us some examples, because I just want to know how you do it. People you don't like. So what do you say?
I be smiling and coming back at them and giving really.
You be hurting their feelings. That's what how you flirt.
I am that type of flirter, but they like that stuff, so it doesn't really matter. They really. It seems like guys like their feelings hurt. Like you're genuinely not interested in someone, and you'll like actively show them, and they'll still be like, "Whatever, girl." You like, no, I'm for real. Leave me alone.
No, literally.
They seem to like that. So it's easy with guys you're not attracted to. But when fine guys come around, girl, I get shell shots. Like, I don't even know what to say.
I definitely have shot my shot in like DMs. But then like I don't know how to follow through with it. Like, oh, like I just think you're cute. Da, 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 da. And like, thank you. And I just don't respond because I don't know what else to say at that point.
That's bold, Jordan.
I know, but that's like as bold as I'll get.
See, I actually don't do that. What I do is if they post something on their story that is interesting or something I can have dialogue about, I might comment something jokingly to get my face and name in the picture.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe if they post something later, like that is also that way, I'll also comment on that. But it'll be playful stuff like I remember there's this boy that I was interested in. Don't really know what's going on there, but he had posted something a long time ago about like when Tory Lanez used to do his Instagram live things, like when girls were twerking and stuff, quarantine radio, and he had commented and was like, I just watched quarantine radio, now I need to repent. And I was like, I went and looked on quarantine radio and I saw what was on there, and you also need to repent today. Like I just said something jokingly like that. And then we started talking from there. So I'll do that type of stuff, but
I'll never. Successful? Has it got you any dates?
Well, I don't do it very often, to be quite honest. And actually, I would say no. Maybe I'm not. I would say I'm not a very forward person.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not actively showing them like I'm interested. I'm just coming off as an acquaintance.
I'd be thinking I'd be sounding like a friend.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I have invited myself on a date before. Like I kind of, Jordan, why are you already laughing? It
didn't work I'm just letting you. I'm letting you do you.
But I invited myself on a date. Like I was like, this consultant. I wonder if listeners understand who I'm talking about. But I invited myself on a date like February. I remember for my birthday. He didn't know it was a date though, but in my mind it was a date because he was a consultant. And I was like, oh man, we should go get drinks so I can learn more about your consulting. You work for like a different company. But he didn't. I was trying my hardest. I read the sham book. I did all the things. I was like, it's like she said, agree twice, disagree once. I tried to agree twice and disagree once with him. Then I invited him. So then, he didn't try to hold my hand or anything. I was like, the formula is not working. I've tried all the tips. I invited him here. I tricked him. I didn't really care about to learn about consulting. I'm already a consultant. I don't care. And then I invited him over my friend's house in the city for her birthday. And him and his friends came, and it was really awkward. They were like awkwardly dancing and drinking White Claws, and that's something about like, oh, y'all drink White Claws? That's sad. I think I hurt their feelings, and then he never texted me back. No, but then he left his phone. That was long. But then he left his phone at my friend's house, right? Even though it was clear that he was like not interested in me at all, because we went to go out, and he like him and his friends like they just went home with their backpacks. It was a Saturday night. Why do you have a backpack? Whatever. But he left his phone. So then I had to grab the phone. Then I had to hold on to the phone and give it back to him the next day, like in DC when I came back to the city to go shopping or something. So point of the story is shoot your shot with someone who you think will actually reciprocate it, because then you might have to hold on to this boy's phone for 48 hours and find him in the city, give him to you when he obviously wasn't interested to begin with. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
You waste your Uber money going to get drinks at some place that was scary and dark and wasn't fun. And think of random consulting questions when you don't even care about his career. Don't do it.
I feel like he probably thought you were talking about professionally, and then you tried to trick him into like.
Oh yeah, I was like, so what is your life story? What do you enjoy doing? He was like, oh, I'm a chef. I was like, my friend, oh guys, he's a chef, and they're like, I mean, he was like a chef on the side. And they were like, isn't you would be networking? I'm like, he doesn't know this. He doesn't know we're networking. We're trying to create different type of connections here, not LinkedIn. You get it?
No. Okay. Anyways, but I feel like, okay, right before the pandemic, I was like, I need to be around different crowds, because the crowds that I'm around, like, I don't want those people to come up and talk to me because they're probably not talking about nothing. I need somebody with some money. So I was like researching all like the high-end bars and stuff, and I was going to take myself, just, wait for somebody to flirt with me. And literally, I promise you, I went to like 2 places and then COVID hit. And I was just like, well,
yeah.
Guess I just...
What I have heard from my friend is to do the IG like thing. So a boy put you like 5 of his photos right like at a time. That apparently shows your interest.
See, guys will come to my page, like 5 of my pictures. I'll go back with like some of theirs, and then they won't do anything. So I don't know about that one. I never get the DM. So yeah, I don't know. But I know it's a Saturday, so we won't stay too long, even though we already long as hell.
Right.
Does anyone have any advice for our listeners?
Nah, man. Not this week. I'm usually the wisdom guru, but none this week.
Okay, my advice is to do your research. Don't just jump into just throwing your money at certain stocks and stuff you don't know about. You need to do your research, have strategies for your businesses, okay?
Jordan talking about learning from her mistakes.
I tried to be like an entrepreneur and I lost my money in 3 weeks. Well, I'm sorry, sweetie, because Jordan is telling you now, do your research.
Mine is don't join pyramid schemes, and don't pay $270-something to be taught incorrect information about a market. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you can like Google like foreign exchange market, like trade tips and stuff, because
I could teach y'all how to trade on the foreign exchange. You ain't got to pay $275. And I know that there's not a 1-to-1 conversion ratio. So there's your start right there. And I also don't make videos on my IGTV about me waking up in the morning and suddenly being alerted to trade. So anyway, everybody have a good rest of your night, I guess. I don't really know what to say about that, so probably wasn't the right approach. But that's it for episode 8. Bye.
Bye.
Can you believe it, guys? We're just about halfway through our first season of Kinda Adulting podcast. Like, wow. Like, we really couldn't have done it without our awesome listeners and followers. If you followed us on Instagram, you knew that we had a huge giveaway last week. And we're announcing the winners tonight. Yes, tonight at 6 p.m. EST. So make sure you follow us at Kinda Adulting Pod so you won't miss anything else. All right, guys. Talk to you later.